Good afternoon, student. This is the lecture number 24 of unit number 3. We are studying the strain measurement. Okay. In strain measurement, we have studied the quarter bridge by strain measurement in a Wheatstone bridge circuit. Okay. Today we are going to study the half bridge. Okay. So the figure 3.A.7, that is this is the circuit shown over here. In that, on the four limbs of the Wheatstone bridge, the resistance R1, R2, R3 and R4. Out of that, all four resistance R1 and R2 are attached to a cantilever beam. R1 on the upper surface of the beam and R2 on the lower surface. Once we have applied the downward force on the cantilever beam, the resistance R1 is in tension and resistance R2 will be in compression. Okay, and R3 and R4 are fixed resistances. Okay, so the resistances R1 and R2 are bonded to the upper and lower surface of the cantilever beam respectively. Now, by using these relations, when no strain condition is there, all the resistances are equal. That's why we can write R1, R2, R3 and R4 equal to R. And on that basis, the out voltage across limb AB and AD will be Bs by 2, that we have already derived in previous case, means in case of the quarter bridge. And VO, that is output voltage across the terminal B and D, and is given by VO equal to VAB minus VAD. That's why output voltage across the terminal B and D will be 0. When load is applied to the beam, the resistance R1 increases due to tensile load, and it will be R1 to R1 plus dR1. Okay, and the resistance R2 decreases due to the equal compressive load, and it is changes to R2 to R2 minus dR. Okay, and the voltage VO changes from VO to VO plus dVO. Okay, so VAB equal to voltage drop in limb AB and BC, and is given as VAB equal to I1 into R1. Okay, and that I1 we have already derived in the quarter bridge. I1 will be Vs or V upon R1 plus R2 into R1. Okay, we can write it as VAB equal to R1 upon R1 plus R2 into Vs. Okay, due to straining, means as the strain is applied on the or developed in the beam, in that case that VAB equal to that R1 will changes to R plus dr, and R2 will changes to R minus dr. That's why VAB equal to R plus dr upon R plus dr plus R minus dr into Vs. Okay, so therefore VAB equal to R plus dr upon 2R into Vs, and VAD equal to voltage drop in limb AD and DC is given as VAD equal to R3 upon R3 plus R4 into Vs. Again, it will be uh, written as that R by 2R into Vs. So R will get cancelled out, and we can write Vs by 2. The change in output voltage due to strain is given by V plus dV, because we have already written over that the voltage VO changes from VO to V0 plus dVO. Okay, so V plus dV equal to VAB minus VAD equal to R plus dr upon 2R into Vs minus Vs by 2. Okay, therefore dVO equal to 2R plus 2dr minus 2R upon 4R into Vs equal to Vs by 2 into dr by 2. Dr by R. In terms of the applied strain, that epsilon, and the strain gauge factor F, we can write dvo equal to vs by 2, and dr by r will be written as f into epsilon. Okay, which is twice the output of Weston bridge using one gauge only. Okay, sorry. And above equation can be written as dvo equal to vs by 4 in bracket dr by r minus in bracket minus dr by r, means vs by 4 in bracket fractional change in resistance of gauge in limb AB minus fractional change in resistance of gauge in limb BC. Okay, so that BC is in compression and limb AB is in tension. That's why dr by r will be positive and minus dr by r for limb BC. Okay, the negative sign with fractional change in resistance of gauge in limb BC is due to the fact that compressive and tensile strain are of opposite sign. Okay, so this is nothing but the half bridge circuit for the strain measurement. Then next is a Weston bridge circuit. Okay, in figure we can see that all the four resistances are mounted or bonded to the lower surface, means R1 and R3 are bounded to the upper surface of the beam, and R2 and R4 are bonded to the lower surface of the beam. Okay, so that R1 and R4 are under tension, and R1 and R3 are under tension, and R2 and R4 are under compression. So when no strain is applied, all the resistances are equal. Therefore VAB equal to VAD equal to Vs by 2. Okay, and VO equal to output voltage across the terminal B and D, and is given by VO equal to VAB minus VAD equal to 0. Okay, when load is applied to the beam, the resistance R1 and R4 increases due to the tensile load, means R1 equal to R4 to R plus dr, means R1 and R4 will be represented as R plus dr, and resistance R2 and R3 decreases due to the equal compression load, and it will be written as R minus dr. Okay, so the output voltage VO changes from VO to VO plus dVO. Okay, so VAB equal to voltage drop in limb AB and BC, and is given as VAB equal to I1 into R1, and that I will be represented as Vs upon R1 plus R2. Commonly it is written as R upon R1 plus R1 upon R1 plus R2 into Vs. Okay, due to straining condition is there, VAB equal to R plus dr upon R plus dr plus R minus dr into Vs equal to, we can written as, because that minus dr and plus dr will get cancelled, R plus dr upon 2R into Vs. Okay, and VAD equal to voltage drop in limb AD and DC is given as VAD equal to I2 into R3, and that I2 will be written as R3 upon R3 plus R4 into Vs. Okay, and R3 is in what we can say that compression. That's why R minus dr, R3 again it is in compression, so R minus dr, and R4 is in tension, so R plus dr. Here plus dr minus dr will get cancelled out, and the equation will be R minus dr upon 2R into Vs. Okay, so the change in output voltage due to the strain is given by VO plus dVO equal to VAB minus VAD. So dVO equal to R plus dr upon 2R into Vs minus R minus dr upon 2R into Vs. Here that Vs we have taken out common, and 2 are in the denominator. So the numerator will be R plus dr minus R plus dr, means minus r will get cancelled out, minus r plus r will get cancelled out, and here 2 dr upon 2r. So 2 will get cancelled. So the final relation we will obtain as dvo equal to vs into dr by r. Okay, in terms of the applied strain, the strain gauge factor F will be dvo equal to dr by r will be written as F into epsilon, means equation is derived in terms of dvo equal to vs into f into epsilon, okay, which is 4 times the output of Wheatstone bridge using one gauge only. Okay, so these are the derived forms of the half bridge circuit and full bridge Wheatstone bridge circuit. Okay, by using this derived form we can solve the numericals as related to the half bridge and full bridge circuit. Okay, most of the time theoretical questions are also asked on the these two types of Wheatstone bridge circuit, that is half bridge circuit and full bridge circuit. Then next type we will have to study, that is temperature compensation gauge. In that, in the introduction, that ambient temperature variation affect the strain measurement, means as we are measuring the strain, so in that case what will happen, the strain will be affected by the atmospheric, or we can say that ambient temperature. Okay, and this is because the gauge resistance changes as the strain and temperature changes, means the gauge resistance is there, which will be changes because of the applied load and temperature changes. Okay, so the resistance change due to these parameter are approximately of the same magnitude, means whatever the changes in the atmosphere, that will be temperature, as we are applying the load, that's why the gauge resistance changes. Okay, thus the temperature acts as an interfering input and bring about a change in the gauge resistance in two ways. The temperature acts as an interfering input and bring about change in the change in gauge resistance in two ways. Resistance change in the wire filament due to change in its volume, and resistance or with a change in temperature. Okay. Resistance change due to the differential expansion existing between the gauge and the test surface to which it is bonded, means the that strain gauge which is bonded to the test surface which is under test. Okay, so effect due to variation in ambient temperature may be reduced by following techniques. What are different two techniques? There are different two techniques, that by compensation or cancellation, and second is by evaluation as a part of the reduction problem. Okay, the temperature compensation by adjustment. Consider the case of measurement of strain. Consider the case of measurement of strain. Now in that case, the temperature is an interfering input and there is an output on the account of in the ambient temperature, even though there is no uh, input strain. So just see the diagram shown over here. Use of dummy gauge for the temperature compensation. That compensation is nothing but the balancing. Similar Wheatstone bridge circuit is there. The resistance R3 and R4 are fixed. R1 is bonded to the upper surface of the beam, and R2 will be considered as a dummy or compensating gauge, which will balance the R1. Okay, so in order to balance the Wheatstone bridge, okay, that R1 will be treated as an active strain gauge bonded to the cantilever beam, and that dummy or compensating gauge R2, which is connected to the dummy surface. Okay, so in the explain, consider the gauge of measurement of strain. The temperature is an interfering input, and there is an output on account of the change in the ambient temperature, even though there is a no output, or there is no input strain. This effect can be eliminated by using dummy gauge in the adjacent arm of a piston bridge. Means if there is no strain in the output, so which can be compensated by or eliminated by using dummy gauge in the adjacent arm of the piston bridge. The active strain gauge is installed on the test specimen. Active strain gauge means R1, which is on the upper surface of the cantilever beam. However, the dummy gauge is bonded to a separate unstrained component identical to that of the load member. Load member means which is identical to the beam, cantilever beam, which is connected to the unstrained component. Okay, means in that there is no strain occur. The dummy gauge remains unstrained throughout the test run. Means throughout the testing, that dummy gauge remain unstrained and suffers change in resistance due to temperature only. Means the strain will be changed only because of the temperature change of the atmosphere. These two gauges are placed close to each other. Okay, so that they are influenced equally by the ambient temperature change. These two gauges are placed close to each other so that they are influenced equally by the ambient temperature change. The bridge is initially balanced, so R1 upon R3 equal to R2 upon R4. Means the bridge is equally balanced if the temperature compensation is there. Okay, suppose a change in temperature occur and the resistance of active and dummy gauge changes by delta R1 and delta R2 respectively. Okay, so if there should be no output, the bridge should be balanced, and this require R1 plus delta R1 upon R3 equal to R2 plus delta R1 upon R4. Okay, so initially that all resistances are equal, which can be written as R1 plus equal to R2 equal to R3 equal to R4 equal to R. So in the previous equation, that R1 plus delta R1 upon R3 equal to R2 plus delta R1 upon R4, which we can written as which we can write that R plus delta R upon R equal to R plus delta R upon R. So as the denominator will be separate by positive sign, means R1 means that R divided by R plus dr1 upon R equal to R2 divided by R plus delta R divided by R. Okay, so R1 or whatever the separated term, that is R divided by R, will 1. Okay, and plus delta R divided by R equal to R divided by R, again will 1 plus delta R by R. Means suppose the right side 1 will be shifted to left side of the equality sign, it will be 1 minus 1, so plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled out, and we will get equation R3 upon R1 upon R3 equal to R1 upon R4. And as all the resistances are equal, so denominator will equal, so it will be cancelled out, so R1 equal to R2. If the dummy gauge is placed in the same environment as that of the active strain gauge, so delta R1 equal to delta R2, and therefore there will be no output due to the change in ambient temperature. Okay, so this is nothing but the dummy gauge, which is used for the measurement of strain under environmental condition. Okay, here our unit number 3 has been completed. In unit number 3 we have studied two parts. First part is the measurement of pressure. Okay, in measurement of pressure we have studied what is pressure, unit for the measurement of pressure, classification of instrument for the measurement of pressure on the basis of low pressure measurement, medium pressure measurement, high pressure measurement. Okay, So in that case, we have studied manometers, Macleod gauge, Pirani gauge, thermal conductivity gauge. Then we have studied different ionization gauges. Okay, Knudsen gauge, uh, Bridgman gauge. Okay, these are the low pressure as well as high pressure measurement devices or instrument. Okay, then after that we have studied the strain measurement. In strain measurement we have studied what is strain, what are the different types of strain measurement. Okay, different types of strain measuring devices. In that we have studied Wheatstone bridge circuit. uh, in that we have studied different types of Wheatstone bridge conditions such as null condition and deflection condition. In deflection condition we have studied quarter bridge, half bridge and full bridge circuit. And today we have studied the temperature compensation gauge. The temperature compensation gauge is useful at the temperature or at environmental conditions, balancing in case of the different environmental conditions such as temperature. Okay, so this is nothing but the measurement of strain. In the strain measurement we have studied the different numericals. Okay,